Good morning, art buddies, and welcome to Bricolage with Paint Girly. Happy Thursday. I was thinking about my embossing folders, which over the years I've collected a few. I don't have tons, but I do have a few. And even when I was making cards, for whatever reason, I didn't really use them. But I haven't gotten rid. Barbara, how are you? Good morning, Gail. Barbara, are you cold? It's cold here today. You must be freezing, freezing. So I thought I would show you some of my folders. And I'm not really making cards anymore, but I was thinking, gosh, maybe I could use them in some of my journals. And the thing that really kind of prompted me was, of course, I was watching Tim Holtz, and he showed this. Now, this is a 3D textured impressions um, embossing folder, and I haven't used this yet. This looks like some of it. Hey, Jacqueline. Okay, honey. Nice to see ya. Yeah, lurk away, lurk away. If I need you, I'll give you a shout. Um, This one looks like somebody ran over it with a truck. But it's hard to see with the picture that they have on the front. I don't think that was the best way to kind of. Barb says it's a tad chilly. We have snow, but now the year after stream. Hey, there's Kimberly. I'm just so happy. Oh, we're glad to have you. Good morning, Peggy. Peggy's listening while she scrub-a-dub-dubs. Okay, cool. So it's hard to, I mean, it's hard to see. I'm gonna try to do this one on a lighter, like a white cardstock, and we'll see how this works out. Hey, Shaz, good morning. Things have been crazy again here in the Delp household, so I'm not going to get into any jazz, but it's been quite the week. So, well, I don't need to put this back in. So I pulled out some paper. And I want to try to do, hey, Ange. Oh, thanks for stopping in, Ange. Good morning, Wendy. You're following everybody around? Cool. Nice to meet you. Welcome, welcome. I wanted to try a couple of things that Tim, well, not a couple, one in particular that Tim did when I was watching him. I guess it was last weekend. But let me just show you some of my folders. Now, for those of you who may be coming in as a replayer or are new to this kind of art, there's Dar. Good morning. You might not know what a folder is, an embossing folder. You might know what a bone folder is, which is this little tool that you can make your creases when you fold things really well. But these are embossing folders, and one side is, I guess you could say, a negative, and the other side is a positive. So this is kind of bumpy, and this side is sunk in so that when you put a piece of paper in there and put pressure on it, it gives you an imprint. So I did have some alteration ones, which I didn't really realize that I had. So these are a few. Good morning, Leah. These are a few that I pulled out. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. This doesn't go with the set, but I thought the candy corn was cute. So this is one. Now, these are easy to see because they put the dark ink on there so we can see the imprint. And of course, they're all out of their packaging. Some of them I got, I think, at maybe like Michael's, where they would have every once in a while you could get like 5 for $2 or something. So this one, let me put, I don't want to squeeze it, but maybe if I put a piece of paper in between, you might be able to see it a little better. Not really, huh? Well, that's a bummer. Well, this is Christmas ornaments. This one here is a Sizzix one. I don't know if you can see that. I wonder if I got a piece of black paper right here that I can grab. That might be a little better. Let's see, in black. I used to have a little piece of black paper here. Oh, maybe on these are some tags that I was in a tag swap and I had extras. You have boatloads? You got it. Oh, yeah, our Tuesday mornings have closed. Love Tuesday. Oh, this isn't dark on the back. I thought some of these were black. Oh, fudge. Well, you know, the best laid plans. Well, this one, I don't know what you'd call this one. You can see it a little better that way. Okay, I'm just going to say as a reminder, folks, if you're in here and you need me to see something, if you put it in caps for me, that's really helpful for me. So I'm trying to read chat as I talk, and sometimes I have a hard time doing that, walking and chewing gum. This looks like some kind of an explosion. I don't know. But I thought today I might mess around and see how I could use these other than when I think of embossing folders, I mostly think of using them on cards. This is another alterations one, which is cool, so it's easier for you to see. I think it's senseless for me to go through these and show you. So some of them I did start to emboss because I have a couple of ideas and I've got some different papers that I pulled out. So I did a few before you arrived, and I'm not sure you can see. This is a 4x6 index card that I coffee stained and tried to put an imprint on. This side, you might be able to see it a little better. You can kind of see the ornament impression there. Looks like a broken window. Yeah, it could be a broken window. This one I think is cool. This one I kind of cut through. This is just regular cardstock. Good morning, Andrea. And can you see the striped imprint going on an angle there? So I've got an idea with that. Same with this one, but this is more almost kind of now I can't think of the word. Lattice kind of. More of a lattice kind of a look. If I hold it that way, you can kind of see it. This is a very nice, lightweight glittered paper. Some of the glitter paper that I had in the past was really stiff and difficult to use, but this is nice and flexible. So at the bottom, it's like a little drippy thing, like, like icicles. And then at the top was this one that I showed you. So I thought that was cool. Here's that one that kind of looked like, someone said it looked like broken glass. Here's this one. This is a piece of wallpaper. So that didn't do too badly. This is just, little tiny dots. You can see them a little bit. And this is a postage stamp. This is actually a Cuttlebug little folder. And you can see it kind of busted the paper. And apparently, to avoid doing that, if you spritz your paper first, you get a better, impression. But I've been told to do that when you use those 3D. That's what the sweater one is. It's a 3D folder. I wasn't really. Yes, I went to Orange. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. It's every time I start to stream. Oh, excuse me. When I buy these sets of nails, I just think they're so great, and then sometimes I don't look at them for a while. And then when I go back and dig through my supply, I'm thinking, "What the heck did you buy that color for?" But anyway, I do like my candy corn, but I don't have a whole lot of those left, so I just added them to the orange. Leah, you like folders? Do you use them just on cards, or do you use them in your art in a lot of different ways? I didn't realize the sweater folder that I purchased was a 3D folder, so we'll talk about that in a few minutes. This is a lineup of all little Christmas trees. You might be able to, yeah, so you can see it better on this side. So this is the indent rather than, the poofed up side. I don't know. There's a better term for it, I'm sure. And here we have the drippy drips. Maybe can you see them better this way? Now these are words. You can see jingle bells. I put it on backwards. I don't know. But see jingle bells, it's sunken in. I never did the words before. Again, this is wallpaper. This is a piece of wallpaper. But I'm not sure. Well, I have an idea. This is just a checked. But see, then it's got these little like bumpy, crumbly things at either end. So I thought that was cool. And again, this is all just, this is wallpaper. This is just a piece of cardstock. What did Flo say? Keep a lookout for used ones. Yes, absolutely. Now, this is the alterations one here that looks like splats. And I did it on the piece of stained business reply envelope that I had used, I guess, last week in our project. So I thought that was kind of cool. So they're the ones that I did before you arrived. Now, when I was watching our dear friend Tim, what he did was, and I had done this before. Here's a couple of my other folders. I used my folder as a stamp. See, on this one, you can see where I put some, I think this was metallic paint on here, and I used it as a stamp instead of using it to emboss. And that's what Tim kind of did the same. Well, no, he didn't stamp it. He embossed and used it. Look, here's another 3D one. This one, someone else was saying something about crocheting earlier in the chat. They were probably talking about a crochet project. But this one looks crocheted to me, like a doily when you do it. Now, this is a 3D one. So we're going to mess around with that. Now, keep in mind that I am challenged when I use my machines. So I've been using the embossing folder successfully this morning, but I haven't tried the embossed one. I haven't done those lately, and I usually forget what plates to use. But this is Christmas trees, long, tall, skinny Christmas trees. So I want to do that. A brick wall, I think, would be cool. Now, this is a Crafter's Companion one, and this is very detailed. So I think I want to do that. So I've got some ideas. I pulled out a couple of journals that I think I might like to try to use these in, instead of using them on cards. Not that using them on making a card is a bad thing. It's just not my thing. Okay, so I just wanted to fuss around with them. So I've got a variety of paper here off to the side. I'm going to use my Cuttlebug this morning. because I love her. I absolutely love her. So now tell me if my camera is too close. I can maybe pull it up. Not maybe, I can pull it up. So tell me if that's maybe better. It might be more better. Now I'm going to use a piece of white cardstock. I have printed on some of this and I don't need it. And so instead of throwing it away, yeah, they do charge a lot for the embossed ones. Although I have to say my embossed ones I really love. Like I have the not the embossed ones, the 3D ones. Okay, so I'm just putting in white cardstock, and I'm just going to show you what I saw Tim do, and I think you'll be able to see it fairly well on the white cardstock. So I'm just going to emboss this one like I normally would do. So I'm using my B plate and my A plate. I'm putting my folder in, and then my other B plate. It should go through. Of course, now that I have an audience, you never know. See, it's not going. I did this for half an hour before you arrived. And it worked just swell. You can see the ones that I did. And I don't have my C plate there. It's not grabbing. It's not grabbing. All right, let me back up. Now, this is a different folder, different company. So that might be some of my issue. But let me back that up a little bit so my plate can grab. That might be the ticket. There we go. I think. Can you stand this? This is every time I do it live. If only Marty were here, she could giggle with us. This one is not going through. All right, where is my... I really want to use this one. Let me try it the other way. Yeah, I am working out. Wow, that's winding. It just won't get it. Okay, plan B. We'll put this one aside. See, this one might just work with the Gemini. I don't know. I have the Gemini. I'm not going to haul that out. Sorry, not doing it. All right, let's try. Let's try the brick house. Now, this was one of my cheapy ones that I got 5 for like $1, $2 or something at Michael's like years ago. I mean, I would think a brick wall would be very convenient and have a lot of use. I love my stamps that are brick walls. Now look, see? This one goes through excellently. And I always just come backwards. I hope I didn't miss anyone coming in. All right. So can you see how cute that is? I don't know if there's a right or a wrong way. But there it is. Look how darling that is. See, I've just got some other stuff I printed on the... But what Tim did was... The top plate looks too large. Yeah, no, it fits. It's a perfect fit, see? From my plate. So what Tim did was Now he did color on color. He was using, I think, gosh, a green or a red paper, and then a green or a red, and I believe it was an oxide that he used. But so we can see the difference, and if I can show you if this really works, I'm going to grab, let's see, I think I really would like my brown, my twig, my, could use green. Oh, the hickory might be nice. I wonder if you could see, I don't know if you could see the hickory as well. My gathered twigs. So I'm gonna, now I haven't tried this before. I was waiting so I could embarrass myself in front of an audience. All right, now I'm not gonna move this because, you know, I just got so much stuff here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my folder, and I want it on, I think I want it on this side. Oh, let's give it a go. And all he did was just take his oxide and run it across his folder. Now he could have used the ink. I mean, if I'm telling you I remember exactly, I'm lying because I don't. I don't remember. I do remember he did color on color, but I'm trying to do a contrast so we can see. So now I'm going to put my paper back in here. Hi, Joyce. Put my paper back in. Close my folder. Put on my top plate and run it through. Your mom dances like she's jogging in place. That's good exercise. All right, let's see what we have. Woo! That is cool. That's cool. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to clean off that side, and let's see how it looks if when I put the embossing, not the embossing, see, I'm getting my terms mixed up. When I put my oxide on the other side of the embossing folder. So I'm just taking a baby wipe and cleaning that off. Let's just let that dry for a minute. I'm going to grab another piece of white cardstock. So now instead of putting the embossing, I will say it, instead of putting the oxide on that top part, I'm going to put it on the other side. And let's see how different it looks. So the first time I did it plain, nothing on the folder. The second time, heat gun, this is grabbing my phone. Okay. Second time through, I put my oxide ink on the top side of the folder. This time I'm going to put it on the opposite. So it should come out with the folder, with the embossed piece of paper, the bricks white, and then the grout, if you will. This is probably not the best thing to do with your ink pad, but we're doing it. So I'm going to put my paper in there. Grab my top plate. Honest to Pete, I don't know why I'm having trouble. Oh, because I grabbed the wrong plate. Hello. I need 2 B's and my A, not the C. The C is too thick with the folder. Oh. I'm telling you, if anybody's interested in these nails, let me know. My sister, well, and I do too, sell them. They're called Red Aspen Dashes. I love this one. So here we have just the plain, nothing on the folder itself. We just ran it through. This, I put the oxide ink on the top part of the embossing folder. So you get a brown brick, because I used the gathered twigs, and like a white, which I would call it the grout. And then this I put on the bottom of the plate, which just smudged it a little bit. And to me, that really looks coolio, 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 right? All right, so I'm liking that. Let's see what else I have here in my little, oh, I want to do these trees. I probably should have gotten out more plain stuff. Let's see. All right, so let me put this in. Hey, Jilly, how are you? I have a piece of tin in there from the last time. I think what I want to do on this one, wonder how that would look. What if I put some of my black ink on this? Let's try it. Oh, I don't want to use Stays On because I don't want to dirty up my folder and have it never come clean. I don't want to do that. Oh, I know. Wait a minute, gals. I have those little tiny, I wonder if I have a walnut. Wouldn't a walnut look nice on the craft paper? Let's see. Oh, I have a coffee. This is archival. Well, that'll do the same thing as the Stays On, won't it? Oh my gosh. I just spilled. Vintage photo. Oh, these are all archival. Somewhere, gals, I have more of the distress inks, but in the little boxes. I just have to find the right. Drawer. That could be a stretch. Don't know where I put those. Well, I don't want to risk it because I don't want, I mean, it doesn't matter if my folder's stained. I mean, you know, it's just, I'm trying to work clean. All right, this says walnut. Let's give it a go. I want something darker that's really going to contrast. So, let's see. And I don't need the entire tree. So I'm going to take this piece. This is craft cardstock. Just going to cut this in half. Well, welcome to everyone that's come in. Some of you may not feel comfortable chatting, and that's okay. We're glad you're here. But if you want to say hi, we'd love to meet you. All right, so I'm going to take first my big old loose gray hair out of there. I'm going to take, now this is Distress ink. So I'm going to take that and scrub over. This is what I'm calling the top of my folder because that's where it's got the words. You know what it is. Now I didn't get way up top. Hey, there's Roberta. Hi, Roberta. It's nice to see you. How you doing? All right, so I'm going to put this in. Put my plates back in. My B plate, my A, my folder, and then my other B. You know what? I keep picking up the C. I got to move that out of the way. I moved it. I keep confusing the brain. Works like a charm when you do it right. How about that? It's funny that way, isn't it? Oh, look at that, guys. Look how cool that is. All right, let me cut this. Let me use the other half of this paper. I like that. Of course, I really like that folder. So now I'm going to clean this off. With my baby wipe. And now I'm going to put some of the ink here on the bottom. And then I'm going to take that little piece that we cut off and sandwich it right in there. Got the right plates on. And away we go. Now, like I said, if you weren't here in the beginning, I have used my folders as stamps, but I saw Tim Holtz do this. Now, of course, there's nothing on the top because we put the ink on the bottom, so this is a reverse. And look at that. Huh? I say sweet. All right, now I'm going to wipe this clean. Now, Tim was using the sweater folder that I purchased, which is 3D. So, now I don't want to get carried away, but let's see, because I want to be able to use a couple of these in a couple of the journals that I pulled out. All right, so this one I showed you before. I put paint in here, so I want to use this one. And I want to use this 3D one because it looks like crocheting. And then I want to show you what I want to do with some of the ones where I didn't put ink on them and see what we can do. I don't know if I'm missing anything. Shaz, I don't know if I am supposed to know what you mean there. I don't, honey. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's take This is wallpaper. Where'd those trees go? I'm wondering how it would look on wallpaper if I used, oh, what did I just do? Yeah, okay, let's use the wallpaper. And then let me pull out my, I have a dark oxide that's green. I forget what it's called. Forest something, I think. Let's see. Of course, the one you want to use is always on the bottom, right? Always, here we go. Forest moss. Let's see how that looks. Now, it may rub off. I don't know, because this is wallpaper. And I don't know if the oxide is permanent after it dries. Debossed with shading. Oh, is that what you call it? Debossing? Okay, cool. All right, so let's see. I've just got a couple of chunks of this green left. So let's, again, oh, I feel a sneeze coming on. This is my Distress Oxide Forest Moss. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, this one's real juicy. Now, I did get a little bit in on the inside, but I'm okay with that. I think that might look, it might look cool. Putting my wallpaper in. Now, this is a sweet green wallpaper, plain, no design. I love my greens. And I love my vegetable greens too, but I love green. All right, let's see what we got. Not too much of a contrast. But that's because I guess, you know, that green's not a lot darker than the green of the wallpaper. So let me clean this off. Clean as you go, clean as you go. I'm trying to get better at this. I cleaned a lot of my stencils. I was inspired by Mr. Holtz. Was so jealous that all his stencils are just so pristine and clean. Let's do black. I don't have black in the oxide, but I do have, see, now I'm going to use those pull-offs from our napkins, right? The ones you're not going to use, you've taken that layer 2 and 3 off because you're going to use it in a napkin journal. And instead of throwing these away, or some folks, when they take them off, they rip and tear them. I like to take them off in one piece because you know what? Paper towels are getting expensive. Expensive. All right, so I don't know what ink this is, but I'm going to clean it off quickly. So now I'm going to put black ink. We'll see how a darker contrast looks on that. And I'm going to put that so like, was it Shaz that said, I'm going to deboss. Oh, wow, that looks cool. I'm going outside of the image a little bit because I don't know how far over that's going to be. This is a really little piece of, hey, Chris. And I'm going to put a green side down because it's wallpaper. So I want that black to be on the green side. Scooting it in there. Give a little run through. I'm winding it back. Oh, lovely. Isn't that lovely, huh? I love it. Okay, that just sounded like my bonus son. All right, so a couple more, and then I'm going to do the sweater, and then I'm going to pull out a couple journals, and I'm going to see what we can do with it. Yeah, this isn't coming off. See, that must be a... Let me get a little spritz of... I'm going to try my alcohol first. If that doesn't work, I've got some ink cleaner that's supposed to clean off your stamps for you. This one, I don't know if it looks like it got melted the bottom of my folder. I wonder where I had that stored. But it, I mean, it ran through okay. Okay. I love that folder. It's a darling. Okay, so this is one of the last ones now. Like I said, I put paint in here and used it for a stamp. But I think it's still going to be okay. So on this one, let's just do craft paper. And I'm just going to, I see caps. And baby wipes for a quick clean to read. Yes, ma'am. I have to stop being so lazy. You know, I was like, clean stamps. My stencils. I don't really care about that. And then I was watching Tim Holtz, and I thought, you know what? You're such a lazy butt, Lori. I mean, they look, especially when you were doing videos, you're doing live streams, you got people watching you. You know what? Get your act together. Take a second and clean them. Okay, here we go. Now this is just a cool folder. And I don't really know how I'm going to use these yet. Can you see? Maybe you can see the deboss side better. Oh, some of that metallic came off. That's been on there forever. See, I'm going to have to soak this guy to clean him off. But that's cool, right? All right, so putting that aside, now, here's where I'm probably going to run into trouble. Because a 3D folder, I guess, just gives you more, because to me, these are kind of 3D, right? With the bump in them, with the bumps. It's not flat. But I guess these are deeper. It's made of this gray plastic. Now, I don't know if other companies have the 3D embossing folders. This is a Tim Holtz by Sizzix. Now, when I did my other embossed folders, I spritzed my paper with a little bit of water, because Tim says, and so does Teresa Church. Teresa, I don't know, she might be watching. Sometimes she's doing stuff, and I don't know, she may not be feeling well. But anyway, if you're out there, Teresa has told me the same thing, to spritz it with a little bit of water, and not too much, because that allows the paper to be more pliable and take on the deep impression that you're wanting to get. Now, the thing of it is for me, is that I don't know. See, this isn't going to go through. And I don't remember the combo, but I don't think this is going to go through just these two. Heavens, no. Now, where did I put my C? This is, so if any of you are experts with using your folders, yeah, see, there's not enough pressure there. See, Teresa would be able to say, you need this plate, this plate, this plate for those. What if I put that this way? No. Gail's out of here. Bye, Gail. Enjoy your day. Oh, yeah, I don't have that. Roberta says, I cut up lots of cereal boxes into the width of my die cutting machine and keep about 10 by my machine. With 3D folders, I used about 2 of those as shims with no plates. Really? No plates, huh? Huh. Huh. Well, I do have other plates though, and I've got those magic something or others. They to me they were a waste of money, but there again, I don't know what I'm doing. No, this is different. This is a cutter thing. I don't want to use that. Screw that up. I mean, I do have different shims. Let's just see if I can easily get to. See, I'm a stacker and a packer, stacker and a packer. I might be able to use my magic folder here. Not folder, plates. Magic mat. Let's see if I can get these to work. If I can get it to go through. I'll put one on the top and the bottom to start. Hey, that might do it. I don't know. Might not be enough pressure. I'll see. All right, so I'm going to use a piece of this first, just to do a test. A test of the American Broadcasting System. All right, this is just book paper. What's the book? What's the book of paper? I have a feeling it's not going to be enough pressure for the 3D, but let's just say no. No. Oh, not a tool. Maybe plate C. Yeah, didn't do nada. Oh, that was, oh, I do have plate C. I don't think this and 2Bs is going to go through. I might need just a little shimmy, shimmy, ding dong. Shimmy, shimmy, pop, pop, pop. Shimmy, shimmy, pop, pop, pop. Nope. Okay, so let's see. What do we have I can use for a shim? That's handy without me having to tear through a bunch of other stuff. Let's see here. Let me just grab some of this other paper. Oh yeah, I was going to use, well, this is cardstock. I was going to use some painty paper. I didn't do that. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get an impression. Let's see if we can make a good impression. Nope, see, there's no pressure. Not enough pressure. What I read about a piece of fabric. Let's try a piece of fabric. I don't need much. Oh, I can feel a little bit more pressure there, but I don't think it's enough to do. Just a little bit. I got a little bit. I need a little bit more. So let's try it this way. All right, we're going for the gusto. I'm going to put a piece of paper in there. I've got my fabric. I've got several pieces of paper. I've got my magic mat, my C plate, my B plate, and I'm going to put this piece of fabric in as a shim. It's just a little wide. I wonder if I'll be able to push it through. Let's give it a go. Yeah, there was this crazy lady. She put fabric in her, not in her. That's not catching. All right, I'm switching out, putting my regular plate, my C plate on the bottom, not that, gosh, they make that magic mat look like it's the next best thing since sliced. Yeah, but see, that fabric's not going to go through. All right. I'm taking off the edge of the fabric because I can. Woohoo! Now that should make it narrow enough when I fold it. I'm going to tuck away that, in fact, I just put some, oh, I think he did the trash. I just put some cereal boxes, cracker boxes in. That's a great tip. I can hear Hubby on the phone. Yep, that's not doing it. Okay. See, this is where watching me live tends to make people crazy. All right, so I need some more paper for a shim. Let's see what we got here. I've got these little book pages. I'm adding them in. Might be too many. We'll see. Because you got to be able to crank it unless you're going to use an electric machine. Here we go. Okay, I've got pressure. Count Chocula cereal. Okay. Oh, I didn't spritz it. Oh, that turned out well. You might not be able to see it, but you're going to see it in a little while. Okay, now I want to do my sweater. Where did I put my sweater? Here, I left it over here. So this is my new folder that looks like, I guess you would call it a Fair Isle sweater, knitted sweater. And I'm going to do that on a piece of cardstock. white. I'm going to just use white. Can you see it okay? On my computer screen, it does not look like anything. Looks like a big fat mess. All right, so I'm just going to take a couple little spritzes of my little mister and just mist my paper a little bit, says Timmy. Blind petite. I'm anxious to see how this folder looks. It looks so cool when his makers, he was showing Christmas stuff. And it looks so cool when his makers were, had sent in a bunch of finished projects. And they used the sweater as a background. And they didn't do, you know, they didn't all do cards. Oh, it's very fine. It's a lot finer than I thought. Huh. And I think I did it upside down. Yup, I did. That's okay. So now I'm going to try, I think I want a blue. Let me get my, I think I want my blue sketch something or other. I don't know. I forget what it's called. Just be patient. Just be patient. Blueprint sketch. I think I want to use that. All right, so now I'm not going to spritz this because I don't want it to run. So I don't know about that. So I'm not going to spritz it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put it on the bumpy side. Then I have to flip. Yeah, then my reindeer are going to be, no. Well, we could try both sides, I guess. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Gopher. Now, in ceramics, I would call this dry brushing. And we're going to talk more about that in a little bit. All right, so I'm going to put my paper in, close my folder, close my oxide, put my folder down, put all my shimmed stuff in there, and give it a, I like it a lot better than I thought I would. I know, it's one of my favorite, Roberta. I use it a lot. Blueprint sketch, love it. Oh, it's the side that I have the printing on that I didn't want to use. I need to get some other white paper. Hold on, let me go grab some more paper. Oh, do I have another one here? Oh, I do. I have one more here. Okay, let's do it again. I'm going to do it till I get it right. See, I was thinking the print on this folder was a little heavier. And, oh, I love it because it's real dainty. It's not in your face. Now, I'm going to add some more. And then once we do this side, I'm going to do the other side as well so we can see the contrast. And then I'm going to put my machine away. and get out a couple of my journals and see how I can incorporate some of the ones I've done. All right, so that's going back in there. All right, wait a minute, Roberta. I can't see. I got to get closer to my screen. That printed side with the lady peeking over at you. What did you... Yeah, that was my witch that I was coloring, and that was my first copy, and I couldn't lighten it up, so I didn't use it. And heaven forbid we throw anything away. Now you can see that better. Now that's the deboss, right? So now I'm going to clean that off. And like I said, I didn't spritz it. It printed okay. It didn't cut my, I mean, it embossed okay. It didn't cut my paper, which sometimes happens with the 3D stuff. All right, now I'm putting the oxide ink on the other side, and then we'll compare. This looks so cool on the gray. Super cool. Now, if you can't get right up at the top, you can kind of bend. Not so much with the 3D ones, but with the regular bone folder, that bends right back. Now, I will say, it did matter with the brick how I swooshed my oxide pad around, because I did get the swirling kind of a look. All right, on the brick. She's like a brick house. Okay. It's cool. I don't know which one I like better. I kind of like them both. You know, but for a 3D folder, it doesn't feel too, you know, it's really nice. It's not like in your face. It's not in your face. Okay, so let me clean this up. Gosh, I wonder, ooh, who wrote the book of love? Tell me, baby. Oh, who wrote the book of love? Yeah, you don't get much. Like if you push it and like you're doing a stamp, you don't get anything you can see. So I hate wasting that ink there. I'm so cheap. I'm so cheap. All right. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. All right. So now I'm going to fold up my little cuddle bug. Put it on the floor. Hope I don't trip over it. Hope I remember it's there. Take all my plates and my shimmy, shimmy, shim, shimmy, shimmy, shim. and put those, let's put them back here and hope we don't have a, oh, I pushed them, have a bit of an avalanche. And then I'm going to take the rest of my folders that we use to put them in my work basket. Now, before we get out a journal and start doing something with these, the other thing that I wanted to try, and I haven't tried this before, so who knows if it's going to work, but it works when I work on my ceramic pieces. And what I'm talking about is dry brushing. And some of you probably know, if not all of you, will know what I'm talking about. This one is a no-go. All right, so these are the things that we embossed. Oh, I forgot I wanted to do that. Oh, well, another day. So this one I'm going to use, and what I'm going to do is dry brush on this and just try to catch the top edges. And the other thing that I wanted to try, which could be a little dicey, but let's just see if I have something. I don't know if you could see it on that. Maybe we'll try it on that. So I've got two more ideas I want to do before we take some of this to a journal page. All right. So I like to dry brush with a white bristly kind of brush that looks like this, like the white bristles. This is not my favorite. This is, you know, most of the brushes that I use for my ceramics, I like more of a flat edge on that brush. This is more pointed, but I think it will do for what I want to show you. I just want to show you the technique. And what you want to do is take a contrasting color, and all we're going to do is just skim the top of the paper in order to catch the raised edge of that embossed imprint to allow for the image to just kind of pop out at us. So now I just I didn't dig out. I think I'm just going to go with a brown because it's easy for me to grab it. This is a darker brown. Look, my label's gone. No clue what paint this is. Doesn't really matter. It's an acrylic paint. I'm going to try it. And normally I would use the paper towel, but I've just got some of these napkins here, and hopefully that's not going to, my brush is not going to chew it up. Now I'm going to do something that I don't want you to do. I'm going to, see, I want to cover up that shiny, my lights there on that. Oh, I just got to forget about it. I don't want you to ever to put your brush in your bottle of paint. I want you to put your paint out on a palette, out on your workspace, out on a piece of tin foil. But I do it because I'm naughty. I'm just a naughty girl. I'm only going to use a little bit. And it's called dry brushing because your brush is dry. You don't want this to go in water until you're finished. And then, of course, you clean your brush. So I'm just tipping the very tip of my brush in the paint that I chose, which is that darker brown. And I'm brushing it out. And you can use a paper bag. You can use, you know, paper toweling, anything. You want to take most of the paint off. And then all you're going to do is just start to lightly stroke across something that's got some detail. Like for me, I generally do this with, like I said, ceramic pieces. But I thought, I wonder how it will look if we do this on our paper that has been embossed. Now, can you see this starting to come to life? Can you see that at all? Yes, do as I don't do as I do as I say. And the reason I'm saying that, I mean, it's your paint, you can do what you want, but it can contaminate it, it can lump up, and I don't want you to say, ah, that stinking Lori, this is what she does. Why didn't she tell me I'd get all kinds of paint boogers? And you know, it makes your paint will last much longer if you pour it out. Now see over here, I'm getting really heavy-handed with it. I'm kind of hurrying a little bit. But you just really want to go very lightly. Right, Roberta, it brings out the texture. And we really kind of did the same thing when we put the oxide and the ink on the folder itself. But maybe you don't want to do that. Or maybe you decide after you've done some things in your folder and you have, you have stuff like this in your stash and you're like, yeah, that chick, she did that. Oh, yeah, she put it on the folder. It's too late. You can do it. You can do it. Let me see if I have, where's my white paint? Or let me get something lighter here. Something with a bit of a contrast. Dun, dun, dun. I just had me white paint. Well, usually, did I throw it? No, I didn't throw it up there. See, I've got everything buried. I'm just short on space, and so I'm a stacker. And let me grab something maybe like, I think you'll be able to see this. This is almost empty. Golly sakes. So normally what I do is I go from whatever color I'm using to my next color because I want my brush to stay dry. Oh goodness, this isn't going to, oh, there it goes. This is a patina. So let's close this balloon. I'm just tipping it into that patina. And now it's going to muddy up. But I'm just going to work that in my brush until it gets to the color it should be. And it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm just doing this as a sample. And the idea with dry brushing is light layers. Oh, thanks, Chris. Now you could try this with a softer brush, or maybe if you have a stenciling brush, you might be able to try it. Now there's patina on the craft. Now you can imagine patina on white. That almost sounds like a sandwich. Salami on rye. Let's see, what do we have? White. Well, here, let's try this. This is the white sweater we did. And paper toweling and or a paper bag works so much better than a napkin, but that's what I have here. And so I'm just going to use it. And it may look like I'm using a lot of pressure, but I am not. Can you see? Now this, yeah, this is the poofier side. And then of course, if you want it deepened and you want that color darker, you just let that dry. It just takes a few seconds because it's acrylic paint. It's a very thin layer. You just would come back and just keep adding it up, and it builds up and strengthens that color on the portion of the folder that, is raised. So just another idea. Now here's my next idea. here's my next idea. Have no idea how this is going to go. Let's see. What do I want to use? Oh, I was going to use this one. Okay, here we go. Here we go, loop de loo. Here we go, loop de loo. All right. Can you see it if I put it on? Can you see that okay? What if we used, and I'm looking for my dauber. What if we used embossing powder or some of Timmy's glazes? What if we used a glaze? So this is one we embossed on cardstock. It's got a heavy print on the paper. This was the one that I said reminded me of lattice. And so I have this dauber with the embossing solution in it. It's like a gluey, snotty, creamy looking stuff. But some people, I shouldn't say ladies, some people emboss and use just water. You just want to get, or ink, you just want to get that top surface that you're trying, or whatever surface you're trying to emboss, to stay wet with the product while you shake on the embossing powder or the glaze powder. I like Tim's glazes because they are not opaque like we traditionally think of an embossing medium. They are translucent. And of course, embossing powder may look cool too. Maybe we'll try that and just see what the difference is. Okay, so let's see. So I've got pinks and greens, and this might be a little too dark. I want something that's, let's just see here. Oh, I do like this one. This is called Antique Linen. I'm going to try this one, okay? And then let's try, what the heck did I do with it? I just had, oh, here it is. Let's try gold, regular gold embossing powder. We'll try that as well. And then we'll see what the difference is. Now, I haven't used my dauber in a bit. I was just recently using, what did I put, where did I put my little gal? Devin Rex and I we often will do a buddy coloring. And so this is, if you don't know embossing, I use the gold embossing powder on the spider legs. Okay. And then I used white embossing powder on the web. But so you'll see that it's intense and you get a lot of color. When I use the glaze, you're going to see just a shine, and it's not, I don't know, it's just yummy to me. So I'm just going to tear this little piece in half. Now, if you have a paintbrush, you could paint something on, you could stamp and emboss. You just want something to hold that embossing powder. Now, I just want to check this and make sure I've got some coming out. Okay, so I am going to open my Antique Linen. I haven't tried this. I have no idea if it's going to work. And I'm lightly skimming across the top of my embossed piece. And then I'm going to shake on this powder and hope I have enough to stick. If it doesn't, then I got to find a different. I may have pushed down too far. Okay, Chris, have a great day. Because it looks like it got down in the little crevices. So let's just, because I want to really have this pop out and just be on the embossed part. I'm just gonna dust out some of this, because this can be time consuming and you may not want to do this. I think I was a little heavy-handed when I went over the top of my embossed paper. So I'm just clearing out. Now this can be fiddly, and if you touch where you want the embossing powder to stay, it's going to knock off because it's just a little bit of wetness that is adhering that powder right now until you set it with your heat tool. So we're going to see the difference, I'm hoping, between where I didn't clean out the boxes and where I did. Can you see? Can you see the difference on the screen where I've dusted out those little areas? Okay. Now I'm really being fiddly with it. So now I'm going to shake this back and I'm going to gather it up on my paper. Embossing powder is not for everyone. It's very fine, grainy. It feels like a salty, dusty, and it tends to get everywhere. It really does. But like I said, if you've embossed in the past and you've used regular embossing powder and you don't like it, you may like the glazes because, like I said, it is transparent. Now, you can't touch this until you heat set it or you'll knock it off. So Tim and others recommend that you start your heat tool and let it warm up before you bring it to your embossed paper. Or I guess you can emboss other stuff too, as long as it doesn't melt with heat tool. I don't know. Let's see if we can capture when it starts going. Now, of course, you want to be careful that your finger isn't too close to where you're embossing. It's starting to go. Can you see? Now, as soon as that dries, see, I don't think I got that edge totally there. Let me flip this around. Let me get that edge. I like this. I like this, ladies. I really like this. Hey, good morning, Kathy. Can you tell? Can you see it? Now, you can put any color on there. But the nice thing about the glazes is that you can see the paper design through the embossing, where you'll see with the gold, not so much. So let's do it again. I'm going to try to be not as heavy-handed. You can see the shine, and that's basically what it is. But I think that's yummy. Everybody's taste is different. This may not really float your boat, And now we'll see. I'm trying to use as little pressure as I can, but also get, yeah, see, I don't think I'm getting any of the product on there. No, let me try to rejuice my dauber. I don't want to use too much pressure because I don't want it to get down in the little crevices like I did before. Now this, we're going to use a regular embossing powder. Hey, Christine. See, it's still got down in those crevices. So I'm going to brush some of that out like I did before. It's probably not wise to use a good brush. Use an old brush. but I'm going to try to tamp some of this out. Can you see what I'm doing? It gathered down in that little well, a design part of the what I'm calling a trellis design. So I want to brush some of this out. The rest of it I'll leave, and we'll be able to see the difference. Sometimes if it's not wet, you can just blow and the powder will come out. I don't know if you can see this on my coloring or not. Let me see. Like I didn't take the extra time. I don't know if you can see. There's little tiny speckles here inside this web area. See, I didn't dust out the extra embossing particles. And so you end up with, once you heat it, it's there, baby. It ain't going nowhere. It's there. Okay, so I always like to shake it back in as long as it doesn't have any other product or clumping in it. Let me have a little sip. Now, Tim recommends holding this with, and you could use a clothespin, something. This is metal, but it's got the rubber ends because you don't want the heat to come up. What if you hold it with, say, like a pair of tweezers? You just have to be careful because the heat can radiate up through that metal and then burn your little fingers. And we don't want anybody to get hurt when they're doing their art. Okay? So now I'm going to heat up my gun. Again, this is not a glaze. This is embossing powder gold. And let's just see the difference. Now, it looks fine where it went everywhere. It looks fine, but you cannot see the paper is my point. And where I dusted it out, you can then see the design of the paper, and you can see more of the trellis design. It's not smooth, it's got those particles, but once you heat set it, it's really not coming off. Excuse me. And this is the glazed one we did. All right. So now my idea was, how can I use some of my embossed pieces in my journals? You really could use them on ATC cards, build, oh my goodness, clusters, of course, greeting cards. That's the first thing that comes to mind for me is using my embossing folders on paper to then build a greeting card, which they're beautiful, and you might want to think about that. But I wanted to think about using them because I don't really, like I said earlier, there's nothing wrong with making cards with your embossing folders. It's just not my thing. I'd rather do something else. So let me just mention, being this is right here and it's in my face, this is a bead that I made. And Kathy, Calico Kate, who's here in chat, showed me how to roll a paper bead. I had no clue. I will say I get very frustrated cutting the paper to make the beads. I want to make more, but I got to figure out how to make them without getting frustrated cutting the paper. That being said, I saw a gal on YouTube, I guess somewhere, I don't know who. She put this bead on a skewer, painted some kind of medium on it, dipped it in embossing glaze, and your beads come out. Oh, this isn't one I did. This is one that Peggy did, I think. But I made some beads like this too, where you dip it in. Maybe Peggy may have just glossed hers. I don't know if I have any of my beads here that I can show you. But anyway, you can dip that in embossing powder and then heat them up. And oh man, they're just yummy. They're yummy. Yeah, this is, I think Peggy made that. Let's just, yeah, that's a Peggy. I'll show you. I will show you. So what I'm looking for now is with my variety of different stamped, embossed papers that we did this morning, to use them somehow on some of my pages in the journal. So I'm just going to go, I'm going to walk through and see where I might put something. Now, see, I'm thinking about that. I've got this frosted window panes. See, I'm just wondering if I want to fussy cut out this one, you know? Bye, Andrea. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. You have a great day. So I was thinking I might like to add this to one of the wintry pages. I haven't seen Journey in a while, and I'm still trying. Hey, Kathy Whitney, hello. Can't stay, but wanted to pop in and say hi and hello. Thank you. I hope you're doing well, Kathy. Have a good day. Thanks for popping in. Nice to see you, even if but for a moment. Maybe we could add this to this tag. Hold on. What's the other side? Yeah, nothing. Nothing, honey. Maybe I'll just tear that. I'm kind of liking this gold maybe on this tag. All right, let me get my... I'm just going to get out my vintage photo ink Dinka. I think I'm going to trim. I think I'm going to just trim off all these straight edges. Now this was the one that we put in the bone folder, and then we paintbrush put the gold on it. Now this is a tag that I made previously. It looks like I've got fabric on there, peace on earth, and I think I want to add, I think I just want to add that there. So I'm going to add this. Maybe I'll put the glue on the actual. Now, because it's so textured, I'm going to just use my finger to move that glue around. And I'm just going to add it. There. Now, let me get my baby wipe. Yeah, I still haven't, I don't know how to get a hold of Judy O. I haven't seen her, and I just want to touch base with her. She's been on my mind. Okay, now I'm just going to trim this. Not bad. But, you know, there's one way you could use some of your embossing. So, you know, I was thinking like a pocket or something. Maybe you could use a strip of whatever you emboss, like across something. So I've got this flower pot here. It's an Ann Getty baby. So maybe I could put a strip of this across there. Let's just say I'm going to cut this. Doesn't have to be perfect. I think I don't want it too terribly narrow because I'm thinking I might put the word on there. I think I want it a little more narrow than that. So now I'm just fussing around. I'm just fussing. Frosty on the bench. Do, 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 do. See, I'm just grabbing anything. I'm just making a line where I want to trim this so it kind of works with the flower pot. Just kind of. I want to get, I'm not good at getting angles, just eyeballing angles. All right, I want to ink those edges. Where did it go? There it is. Because that's what I like. So now I could put that right under there. I could put it down here. It kind of looks cute there. All right, so now let me see if I can easily grab one of my little word tablets here. Now this is seasonal, so some of them don't necessarily work, but let's see. Cherub. How about cherub? That'll work. Now, I've mentioned before, a lot of times when I have those get those little word, oh no, don't stick there, those little word books, you know, I take my vintage photo and just ink over top of them. So then if I pull one off, they're ready to go. And they're so tiny to ink the edges. Now, I'm not sure how well that's going to actually stick because not only is it textured, it's also got that glaze on it. So again, I'm just really kind of spreading this around. I don't think I want to put my finger in it again. So just trying to find ways. So if you have your, you know, sometimes you feel like gluing, sometimes you feel like cutting out some die cuts, and we've been talking about, and like I said before, Calico Kate talks about this on her channel as well, just preparing, even Tim does, I forget what he calls it, preparing a bunch of the same type of items. So when you sit down to create a book in your art journal, or add to your regular journal, you want to jazz up your pages, you can just go to your stash and pull out some pieces and put things together. And you don't have to stop and pull out the cuddle bug and get out the die cuts and get, you know what I'm saying. So we just added that to that little pot. That's kind of cute. Okay, so here we're coming up on some wintry stuff. Okay, so now I wonder how this would look. This is what, I guess it's icicles, what you would call it, but I think I want a fussy cut. Roberta says, I found a gardening almanac calendar Mom was throwing away and die cut rectangles of the flowers and made greeting cards with them. Oh, nice. They are glossy prints, so I embossed or added acrylic paint. Oh, that sounds sweet. Oh, thank you, Roberta. Okay, so I don't want to take a whole lot of time in fussy cutting this. So I'm starting to get hungry for lunch, and I'm not sure. I think hubby may have made an appointment for us to go to the bank this afternoon. I'm not sure. So let me just do a few of these and I can come back and finish. Now I like it because this is a white glitter paper, but also, I've got a dark background here. So this might kind of look cute. We'll see. We'll just see about it. This is a little difficult to see because I'm just going by the impression. It might have been smarter to cut it from the back side where I could see the embossed portion a little easier. But to tell you the truth, with coming back through a journal and adding to it, the one problem with that is you don't have the advantage of, say, using a piece like this and then covering up that rough edge with other items. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to look cute. And it doesn't look super embossed, of course, because I'm cutting out that, but that's okay. I can use it however I want. And that'll look like snow dripping down on that page. Yeah, that's the deal with most of our stuff, right? Out of sight, out of mind. Same with my embossing folders. I'm thinking, I saw that one on Tim's, but I'm thinking, I know I have them. Why don't I use them? Okay, that's not a pocket. All right, so I was thinking for something over here. Where's that? Didn't we do, oh, the sweater. Where's the sweater? I don't want that. I was looking for the blue sweater. All right, I'm just going to tear this. Right, you can't keep it all exactly, Kathy. And for me, unfortunately, I'm the type of person, like, if I don't see it, I forget about it. I even have seen things and people use different things and think, oh man, wouldn't it be great to have that? And then go rooting for something a couple of days later and find that I do have it. So this one, I think I'm just going to add here. So when I come back again, you know, I can treat it as a back and just add other stuff to it. But I want to ink those edges, and I'm going to use the blueprint sketch. So let's see. Let me grab a dauber, a blending tool. And I usually have little foamies that go with each color. Here we go. There, that looks like that's the right one. Now this one's coming apart, but we'll see if we can make it work. So I want to, you know, ink these edges before I go ahead and glue this down. And for you too, Kathy, you might want to keep some things away from little fingers. I don't have that problem. I kind of wish I did, but I don't. Lori, guess what? I spent 90 minutes looking for my phone the other day. Where do you think it was? In your bra? Was it in your bra? I'm always flipping mine in my bra. My son gets so aggravated with me. You shouldn't keep it in there, Mom. I don't keep it in there for long. Yeah, I've done that too, Roberta. All right, so I'm just going to add some glue on the back. And I'm just going to put this down, and then the next time I come through here, you know, or I might come upon something I think, ooh, that'll go on that sweater page. But see, I kind of like that it has blues and purples. I'm going to set it off to the left here a little bit because then I can see some of the stuff I scraped. Hi, Gail. Her's back. Does Shaz tell us where? Yes, her bra. I got it. Woo, woo, woo. It's a great place. It's a great, I can't, did anybody see a reel where this gal, she's talking away and she's saying, I'm going to do this. And she's unloading like a picnic out of her bra. She had so much stuff stuffed in there. But I stuff all kinds of stuff. It's like an extra set of hands. You know, you can put all kinds of things in there, girls. That's if you wear one. Not everybody has to. All right, so that's the beginning of another page. Now this is something dear Peggy made, so that's a flip out. Oh, I wonder how. See, I can't get that. What do you think about that? I could just put that here under that clip and then come back and glue that down. I kind of maybe want that for that page. I'm not sure. I'm just going to push that under that clip and we'll see. This is a Peggy. This is from last year, Peggy's little calendar. Uh-oh. I did something. Pushed something on my keyboard a little too much, and it made a noise. I hope you're all still can see me okay. Oh, no, I want to see if I have a place where I can use that brick wall. I just really like that. Not thinking about anything here, I don't think. Maybe a little too much. Well, I kind of like this for this page. What do you think? I could use that as a pocket or a belly band. I'm trying to think what color I could ink on this. I do have a blue-green. You nearly spit your tea out? Right, bras should come with pockets. I have so thought about that, but I thought it might be hard to just slip it in there. And I've had, I slip money in. Well, you don't know. I've slipped money in there, sometimes a credit card, and then I think, oh my gosh, um, if somebody sees me grabbing that out, and then handing it to them, they may not look too kindly on that. So I have to try to pay attention to what I'm doing. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know that it really matters so much. I'm trying to keep my colors used for this same. Oh, I might be able to use this one. I don't even know how you would go about inventing anything like that, I'm going to use that one. All right, let's put this one back. Put that one back. I just like to put the little extra color because it just kind of anchors away, my boys. Anchors away. Okay. Now, what I want to do is, because I want this edge, this probably isn't going to be straight. I'm a straight shooter, but not a straight cutter. Nope. I can trim it a little bit. But I want to ink this edge too. So if I trim it off, I can ink it because it's on the edge of the book. Now, I want this to be a pocket, so I don't want to put glue everywhere. Just want to put it on 3 sides. 3 sides. I looked all over this morning for this journal, and I'm looking where I thought it was, and I'm thinking, no, that's Charlotte's journal. And then I stood up, put on my reading glasses. It was right where it was supposed to be. I confused it with my granddaughter's journal that I'm making for her. Okay, so that's a little lumpy bumpy there. So I'm going to flip this over and give it a good press. Really want to press that. Okay. Then I'm going to trim this while I'm here. Add a little more ink. Now I've got a lovely pocket, and I can add, when I come back to do this page, I probably didn't have to smash that into the ditch as much as I did, but I can come back and add to the front of that. I can put some flowers. I can add something behind. Lovely. Oh, maybe this. Maybe my brick wall across from this. I kind of like this one. This is a napkin. It's one of my favorites. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're about at 2 hours. I guess I probably should think about going. So let me finish this up. So let me add this. So basically, it's the same old story we're trying to tell ourselves all the time, right? Use what you have. Use what you have available. Now, what I'm thinking is for this page, now that I'm going to put this brick wall here, I've got some of those, maybe I'll just pull that out and show you because I think they really are darling. You know those stamps that are called, oh, it's not coming to me. They're little girls. It's not the Julie, is it Nutter? It's not those little girl stamps. I got rid of all those I had. These are the, they say just so precious. It starts with an S, maybe. I'll pull them out. They're right here. They're right under my, but I'm thinking maybe a couple of those, if I stamp them, might look cute standing here. Let's just see. See what you think. I just put them in one of these boxes. This one will do. At least you'll get the idea. I have other ones. I have just the mini ones. But these are called, I know Devin always says, oh yeah, Santoro. I knew it started with an S. Santoro. Tip. Jane Davenport uses deep trays, and each one has different projects or journals with the supplies. I'm aiming to do that. Yeah, I usually close to the look of Precious Moments, Gail. This one's a wintry one. I don't know that I would use her, but see, I can stamp her and then I can color her. Actually, she might be bigger than some of the other girls. And maybe put her on, like on a piece of manila folder, kind of. And then I could put some, what do you think about that? See, she would look cute in front of the brick wall, right? And then I can find more of this napkin and add some flowers. Ooh, that might work. So let me just glue this down. I think she is bigger than my other ones. Maybe I could add another little girl. Sometimes they have an animal attached to them, and you don't necessarily want that, but whatever. I think they're cute. I love the way this brick turned out. So that is going to be it for me for today. Thanks for joining me. I hope you got some ideas of how you might be able to use your bone folder, your embossing folders that you may not have maybe thought about. Sometimes, folks will say, oh, I don't watch that because I don't want to spend any money. I'm not watching, say Tim Holtz. I'm not gonna watch Keisha's Creations because I don't want to. And you know what? And I get that. And you have to, if you don't have the money to spend, you have to be able to be strong and not click that button. But on the flip side, or maybe go back and watch it when it's not live and the temptation won't be as great, because even though they're selling things, or even like at the market, you see what other creators are doing and you can get an idea and maybe apply that to a project you're working on, or some of the tools that you might have in your stash, and be able to use it to create something unique that you would enjoy, that either in your journal, on your cards, on your ATCs, on your tags, you know, and then share it, right? And apply it to what you have in your stash. Bricolage, use what you have available, right? Cool beans. All right, ladies, have a great day. I hope to see you on Sunday. Holding steady here. If you have any questions, even if you don't, leave me a comment. Say hi. I love to have a chat, answer questions. I love doing that. If any of you see Judy O, would you please tell her that I am looking for her? Oh, Peggy, I don't know if Peggy's still here. I forgot to check and see how Birdie's doing. Um, Peggy, maybe you could, well, I could message you too. Um, things is still a little cray-cray here, girls. I don't want to get into it, but hang in there. Thanks for coming. It was great seeing you all, and I hope to see you soon. Don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. Bye-bye for now.